Canada's opening ceremonies, co-flag bearer comes home with a medal as Maude Charron captures a weightlifting silver. Hey everyone, Rob Wong, joined alongside by Rob Longley of the Toronto Sun, who is in Paris covering the Olympics. And Rob, you got to see Maude Charron take home a silver medal after winning a gold 3 years ago in Tokyo. But as you wrote, this wasn't just about getting on the podium for her.
Yeah, it was a lot of different things for Maude Charron. What a great moment of the games it was for her. First of all, from the competitive side of it, she had to drop classes. She'd been in the 64 kilogram class. They eliminated that, so she had to compete at a new event at 59 kilograms, and that was obviously there were some training consequences that came with that, and including having to face one of the great women lifters of all time, the Chinese woman who won it. But for Charron, I mean, it was a deeply personal experience. I mean, she, as much as she loved winning gold in Tokyo, and that was a validation of everything she's done as an athlete, she felt that she really missed out on the Olympic experience, as so many athletes did 3 years ago in Japan. So she was just excited to be able to come here and compete in front of a big crowd, to have her family and friends here, to be able to soak up the atmosphere, to be able to go in the opening ceremonies, and as you mentioned, be one of Canada's flag bearers, to walk around a city where people are embracing the entire Olympic concept. And she sort of said that she didn't even really care if she made it back to the podium. I think the competitive side of her certainly ensured that happened, but she really wanted to soak it all up, and she did. I mean, she put on a performance in front of that big sellout crowd here at the Paris South Arena yesterday. She was playing to the crowd. It was clear that they were pumping her up to a certain extent, and she had tears. She had tears after she finished, and she had tears when she was on the podium getting her silver medal. Wasn't able to experience those emotions 3 years ago in Japan, and really got, as I wrote, Rob, the full on Olympic experience here in Paris.
Yeah, that really is what it's all about in the end
Yeah.
for the majority of these athletes, because not everyone can get on the podium, of course, but what an accomplishment it was for Sharon. As you mentioned, the crowd at the arena, watching it on TV is one thing, but what is the atmosphere like when you're actually there? Because I wouldn't say many people get a chance to go watch weightlifting of any sort in many places, because it is such a unique event.
Yeah, it was a first for me, and it was a real show, and I alluded to it in my column, Rob, that it's there's a little bit of a prize fight feel to it, maybe a little bit of a WWE experience. There's loud music. There's the announcer is the MC, sort of in the arena, is trying to get the fans pumped up, and they do get pumped up. And there's dead silence right before the athletes make their lift, and then there's a huge eruption once they make it. And you could certainly see a handful of the athletes, anyways, were really playing to the crowd and really getting fueled by them. There was a lot of cheering, a lot of yelling, a lot of facial expressions. It's a real show, and the configuration of the arena for it here in Paris was, the fans were basically right on top of the lifters, and that was another thing that Sharon talked about afterwards. How she said basically that we're lifting crazy amounts of weight, and that noise and that energy can just help you get those extra 2 or 3 kilograms, which is what may be the difference between making it to the podium and not. So yeah, I'd highly recommend anyone, if you ever get a chance to do it. It was a first for me, as I said, and it was a very cool environment, and a really good scene.
Well, a spectacular performance by Sharon, as we mentioned, and the crowd was definitely hyped to see it all go down in France. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. You can find all of Rob's Olympic coverage at the National Post.